And we are live with another episode of Brownish Live. That's my co-host today
Joe
is,
Biden.
is Joe Biden.
Ajá, soy yo, estamos aquí. Soy Joe Biden hoy.
uh, Sasha you're having a rough day today.
I am having a rough day. I suffer from migraines. For everyone that suffer from migraines, they know my pain. I am very sensitive to light. I can't look at any screens or anything because it's the worst. I go blind in one eye, actually.
Well, that's not good. So we're gonna have Joe today, but it's your voice, which just looks hilarious. I feel like we should do that. This is like a segment. So, Joe, how do you feel after the election?
Well, I feel very humble. I feel grateful that I am president now, and we could get rid of that loser. Nah, Trump. He's saying that he won big, and I'm a little worried for him. He's very. I don't know if he's an over optimistic person or he's just delusional. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just glad it's somewhat over. Like
Some
this, it was a long election. Like it's usually one day. I like
right.
we got. Oh, hey, it's Eric and Biden today. Yes, it is. The presidente. He
He's
is
me,
here with me.
president. I can't
Uh,
even make his voice, but yeah, it's me, your president.
yeah, it was. I just felt like it was a long time. Like it was just like boom. We usually know the next day. Sometimes the day after that, because it'll be like, oh, we got some drama. But this one took forever,
Yeah,
ever.
this one definitely did take forever. And I remember I took an Uber the day after, actually the same day that they mentioned that he won. And my Uber driver was like, "Oh my God, there was like this huge rainbow that appeared in the sky." I'm like, "Are you serious?" And then even my boy from New York, Ken Starks, he's like, "Yo, it's a sunny day in November. Like this is crazy. Joe Biden won." I was like,
Uh,
"That's so crazy."
dude, I kept watching the coverage, and it was so funny because like I was like, yo, they are so good at this because they are giving us updates on nothing. Like that we're
Absolutely,
close.
yeah.
We are close. I was like, I don't know who has a thesaurus there in the studio because they kept just changing that
Yeah.
every couple hours. We are on the verge. We are on the verge now,
Yes.
guys. We are on the cusp. We are on
Yeah.
the cusp of knowing.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they are good. They are good.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
kept watching it like, all right, here we go. Here it comes. Here it comes. And then
Mhm.
going to bed like, man, they didn't tell me nothing.
Exactly. Oh, man.
It's almost like do you remember that? I used to watch those like Nat Geo shows where
Mhm.
they're like looking for like today we're looking for the elusive black shark. And you'd watch the whole thing. And
And
then
you
at the
don't
end,
see
like,
nothing.
we missed him again. I'm like, what? You made a whole show
Yeah.
about nothing.
Yeah. But what I love is
Period.
like how they knew that Joe Biden was gonna win, but yet they're still trying to be like, you never know, because if Trump wins, I using all these words and stuff. They're like, if Trump wins this, that, and the third, then he does have a chance. He does have a chance. Like, are we looking at the same screen? Because I'm
Well,
seeing blue in the red
I
area.
think I think they were just trying to cover themselves because last election they were like, listen, Hillary got this locked up, and then
Oh
as
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
progressed, they're like, listen, she just got. Then they started doing her thing, like she just
yeah.
got to win Hawaii, and
Yeah,
then she got to buy 3 blankets, and if she
yeah,
buys some magic beans, she's got this. And you're like, wait, what? Hold up, what kind of
yeah.
election is this?
Mm-hmm.
I think they were just trying to cover themselves, but yeah, it was just a long process.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: I was getting mad at Nevada because they didn't have that many votes, and they were taking a sweet time.
They didn't want to get in trouble with anybody.
Well,
That's
because
what
I was like, I was looking at the other states, like we counted 5 million votes. In Nevada, I'm looking, it's like we got 700,000 votes. We're about 90% done. I was like, you don't even got that many votes.
Yo, they didn't want to get in trouble, bro. They wanted to be neutral. They didn't want to get in
Yeah,
trouble by nobody. They were like, I
yeah,
just wait this. I'll wait on the other ones.
yeah. But I'm just glad it's over. I think everybody was just glued to their TV, stressed out. No one was getting outside, getting sunshine. So I'm
Well,
just
I
glad.
was getting a lot of people. I was getting a lot of trolls on my page talking about, that the election is being rigged and like the Democrats are stealing the election. It's like
Hmm.
a lot of people been saying that, and I was just like, really, like how he stole the election in 2016 with Russia.
Yeah, it was. I'm just
That's
glad
what
it's
I'm like.
done though.
That's what I'm just like right now. Like, listen, just take the win or take the L, and just if you really want him that bad, maybe he'll run it in the next 4 years.
Yeah, he can run back in 4 years.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I am blown away by his attitude of like, listen, I want big Tuesday night. I want.
Honestly, I need a little bit of that delusion, bro. Cause like
I think
honestly,
I think everybody needs just a little slice of that confidence. Like I'm like
I
this,
need
this
that. I need
there's
that.
some shows. There's some shows. I'm like, man, I bombed, and that's the dude that's like, I killed. Y'all see that?
Right?
Like, wait,
Exactly. Y'all
what?
just don't know what humor is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait, you killed? Yeah, you didn't see that first laugh? Like, yeah, but the rest was awful. But it don't matter. You see that first laugh?
Right.
Okay.
It was the most tremendous, the most best laugh, the most best beautiful laughs ever.
By the way, I have to laugh every time because Joe's just smiling. Whatever you say, I feel like you could deliver the worst news right now with Joe's smiling face, and anybody would take it with a grain of salt. Like, listen, you got a couple days to go before you pass. Okay, thanks, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for today. We got a dope ass guest, Dariany. She's a chef, she's a host, she's a comedian too. You know what I mean? She kind of does it
She's
all.
she's with you on the Fuse network. She's Fuse family.
That's what I'm
Let's
saying. She kind of does
let
it all. This girl.
Well, let's bring her in. She is the host of Fuse's Struggle Gourmet every Tuesday, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give it up for Dariany Santana.
Hey, what is good, mi gente?
What is
How are you? Oh,
Well,
wait, I lost it. I
all
lost
right.
you. Sorry about that. That
It's
was that was that was the COVID. The COVID dropped you.
I'm
But
good though. I have no complaints. I mean, not the best time to be a Cuban right now, but other than that,
girl?
yeah.
I feel like it's not the best time to be Latino because there's also a lot of Dominicans that were like, "I'm voting for Trump." I was like, "Man, I don't know
tell
you.
by the
I
way,
don't know you, Theo. I don't know
tell me
you."
on Tuesday, the way they were saying the Latino vote was so awful. Like I was just like, listen, I'm about to separate from this
Yeah.
whole this whole tribe of people.
Right,
And then
right.
they were like, the Latino vote came through. Look at this. I was like,
No, they
yeah, that's
did. They did
what we
come
do.
through though, actually.
But you know what? I think we've learned so much in Trump's presidency and in 2020, and even with the term Latino vote, because people are finally realizing that Latinos are not a monolith.
Yeah.
And that's really important for people to grasp and understand. The way they bunch minorities together sometimes, and clearly that's not how it is. So
Yeah.
I'm an eternal optimist, and I'm just like, you guys needed to learn. There's a lot that we needed to learn, and ideally we've learned a lot.
Yes.
Definitely. And part of me is like, I'm very excited that Joe Biden won because I was not feeling comfortable with Trump as president. And I was really trying not to like be that person to hit up people in my family and be like, you say you fucking lost, you loser. But I was just like, okay, why did you vote for Trump? And like, okay, I kind of came to this conclusion of like, okay, before Trump, there's always been Republicans. There's always been people that voted Republican. It's not impersonal. It's just like the policies that they that they're voting for. Like if they have businesses and blah 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 blah,
Mhm.
right? So I'm like, okay. And then I was also thinking, why wasn't it a landslide? And that's why like the Democrats were so upset because they were just like, they were thinking like it's gonna be a landslide. But then you see all these people that lost their businesses during COVID. And I remember going to the mall and like feeling sad because I'm like, damn, like this business is pretty not gonna make it. And probably out of being desperate, they voted for Trump because Trump, is promising all these things. So that's me just trying to be empathetic. But I'm still glad that Joe Biden won. You know what I mean? Like I just trying to find a little bit of empathy during these times because I'm really not trying to repeat the same type of like um
Same pattern.
attitude.
Like, yeah, no,
Yeah, the
like
same
yeah,
attitude. Yeah, the same attitude that like a lot of people that voted for Trump had. That was like kind
yeah.
of disgusting, really.
Like I do love that he came out and right away was just talking about unity and like unifying because like, we definitely need it. We definitely need to
Yeah,
come together. Like I think this has all shown us how divided we can be, and it's not good. It's not
yeah.
good.
I
We're
mean,
all people at the end of it.
no offense to Biden because I feel like he's listening as we speak.
Uh,
Was he my
his
number
face is
one
right
choice?
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's right there. So I feel almost like, do they say it? I mean, obviously he's not my number one choice. I'm not
Absolutely.
I'm not obsessed, but let me tell you, when he made his speech, first of all, when he said the word trans, that was huge to me because this is a group that the Trump administration has fucked.
Yeah.
And it just in general is never said in politics and is never acknowledged. And I post this on my Instagram, and I don't feel like enough people are talking about how, okay, obviously Kamala is the token minority, right? She's a woman, brown, all lovely things. But one thing that people don't talk about with Biden is the fact that he has a stutter and has had a stutter, and it's almost like a disability. And I'm like, this is a dude that had a stutter that's now going to be the most powerful man on earth. And I'm like, that's dope. And that definitely, like, I don't think we're such an ableist society that people don't realize, like, bruh, that's really making kids that suffer from stutters, gives them hope too, So it's another kind of representation that is, to me, is really, really important to highlight.
Absolutely. And then also Kamala Harris, being a woman, the first woman vice president, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit is crazy. First woman vice president of the free world. And
Have you seen that video? Have you seen that video where they show all the vice presidents through
Yeah.
history, and it's like
Yep.
all white guys with the crazy facial hair, just
Yeah.
and then it ends with her. I'm like, yo, if you watch that, you're not tearing up. So you dead inside. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's insane. It's insane. It's like it really is sending a message, especially to women of color, that like, as if you're a person of color, you already feel like you don't even fit in the American standards, right? Like even like as a minority, you don't fit in. And then her mom being an immigrant Indian woman and her dad being Jamaican, and like her being a vice president, that really sends an amazing message to like the America that we live in, which is supposed to be equal for everyone.
Right.
The land of the free.
I mean, bruh, she's half Jamaican, she's half Caribbean, she's eaten oxtail before. Like that to me is
cook for her one day. Absolutely.
Like, because it's not like the first woman is a big deal, but she's brown. Like that's such a big deal. And like Sasha knows this because we both have a show on the same network, which is just like no,
that's cool. That's cool, Fuse. That's cool.
I'm saying this because let's be real, 15, 20 years ago, 2 shows on a network hosted by Latinas.
Yep.
You not even on fucking Telemundo. Right. That doesn't happen. Which now I think it's pretty crazy. But so I'm just, I want to just say like we are progressing, and these things are so important because, even when I first started my career, like I remember, I modeled too, and it was always like, okay, so there's like the one token Latina, but everyone else is Caucasian. And that was just like a really big thing. Like even on TV shows, it was like, we just need the token people. So the fact that it's shifting, it means so, 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 so much to me.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, people, it's so funny because like, people go, because I've seen the comments like, oh, just because she's a woman, just because she's a woman of color, like, but you don't realize that effect it has on kids.
Yeah,
like to know that, I can achieve that, because it's always been such a boys' club of for little girls. Like you don't realize that effect it has of like, one day I'm gonna grow up and be president. Like, no, you're not. Now mentally they unlock that and go, oh, but I can, because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it happen right now in front of me. It's a beautiful thing.
It is a very beautiful thing. It is a very beautiful thing.
But let's look. I don't want to spend this whole time talking politics. I want to talk about Dariany. I want to talk about Dariany. I want to talk about a show. I want to talk how it all started.
Dime.
Let's get started. So tell us a little bit about Struggle Gourmet, because we've got people who may have never seen the show. Tell us what it is. Tell us what you do.
All right. So I have been a TV host for a couple of years now, and I always focus on the food world because I'm a foodie. I co-own a Cuban restaurant. And so Struggle Gourmet is a show. Oh, there it is. Struggle Gourmet is a show that kind of celebrates like the foods you ate while you were struggling. And then now that you're killing it, how do we elevate those meals? So literally a celebrity and myself, we make a traditional struggle meal, whether it be ramen or mac and cheese. We make the original really cheap one, and then we make the most elevated, expensive, bougie version of that same meal. And then at the end, they compare which they like. And then of course, throughout the show, I'm talking to the celebrity. We're talking about their upbringing, their relationship with food, you know, how their life has changed. And it's really, 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 really fun for me because I love getting to know people. Over food. That's what I do. It's what I love. Sasha knows I've cooked for her before.
Hell yeah, that's what I said. That you're gonna be cooking for everybody. You should cook for, you know, it's amazing. And everybody needs to taste your food.
Thank you, Mama. I mean, it's just like I cook, like food is love to me, you know, like I grew up with a family, you know, my mom worked every day, but she cooked every day. And that to me was normal. That's what you did. And if I was sick, if I, you know, my mom would make me soup from scratch. My mom still does. When I came home drunk at 2 a.m, my mom making me a grilled cheese. So food is very much something that I love because I get to cook food for my culture and celebrate my family, my culture. And then I just really like to feed people. I'm oddly very maternal.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
So now I know where I'm sending my kids. All right. Good for you. So now did you take the steps of going to culinary school, or is this all self-taught? Or learning from the family and taking those cultural recipes?
Yeah. Well, I started cooking when I was really young. I mean, my sister and I were always in the kitchen with my mom because, like I said, she cooked. I mean, she worked, every day. So when she came home from work at 6:30, she wanted to spend time with us. And where did she go? She went to the kitchen. So we would like help her prep. And so I started cooking when I was like 8, 9, and then always cooking with my mom. And then I started taking classes as I got older because it's just something that I really, really loved. I played a culinary school, but I know it's too much like peeling potatoes and people being mean, and I don't know. It's not something that I'm against because it is something that I can see myself doing in the future. I'm just more of like I cook my family's recipes. My parents didn't fucking go to culinary school, you know?
Right. So now I love the struggle meal. You talk about a meal you had when you were poor. Like what was that struggle meal for you?
Oh my God, my favorite ever is comida de puta, which is white rice with a fried egg and plátano maduros. It's a very common Cuban thing, but I'm sure it's prevalent throughout I know it's prevalent through the Caribbean and just Latino America in general. And it's just lovely because it's called comida de puta because it's fast, it's easy, and it's satisfying.
For our white viewers.
So if there are
that means
that means food of the horse.
Yes.
Because of all those attributes that I listed before.
How would you make that meal like a high-end meal? Like,
so that's a tough one, right? Because like some dishes is like, just leave them alone. But honestly, at the top of my head, I would use like some crazy expensive rice and make it with like really expensive water. And then I'd use like a fucking ostrich egg. And then instead of I'd use the plátano maduro and I'd fry it in like oil that is the extract of, I don't even know, like a penguin's penis, like something ridiculous. And then
but don't forget the truffle butter at the
end. And then you put a little truffle on top.
Yeah, exactly. So again, some meals don't really translate well. That one being it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, like
so things so funny, like because I got kids, so like I think every parent's goal is I got to do better than my parents did, right? So for my kids, like they don't know the hardships of a struggle meal. Like we'll have pizza nights on Fridays, for example, and I'll go buy the dough and we make it. We make the pizza. And I remember one time I was walking through the supermarket, I was like, oh, English muffins. And I brought them home because in my head, I was like, when we were little, like this was a treat for us. My mom would slice it and we make the pizza on the English muffin. She put like a ragu and then cheese that you actually cut, like the block of cheese. And I made it for my kids. And my kids were like, what is this? I was like, bro, pizza. And they were like, no, it's not.
Do you know what's so crazy is the episode that airs tomorrow. That's what do. And I remember looking at the recipe being like, who the fuck makes English muffin pizzas? You
Right
you
here.
the guy. You the
Right
guy.
here. English muffin pizza.
That's crazy. Nah, thankfully, listen, we lived in Jersey, so that we were not there. We were never not having good pizza. Thank Jesus.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
but
But it was like a treat for my mom because first of all, my mom equated English muffins because my mom did home care for like older white people. So like for her, it's like, oh, they eat English muffins. It's fancy. We're gonna get English
That's
muffins.
expensive. That's expensive.
That's yeah. So she would like get me English muffins and like it was always like Prego or Ragu. It was like she didn't make the sauce or get special pizza sauce. It was just like blop and then the cheese on top. And it was never the shredded cheese. Like I like my kids like we get the shredded, we put a little Parmesan, I put like basil leaves on it, but none of that for me as a kid. It was just there it is, put in the toaster oven.
wow.
Yeah, I made it for my kids, like, and it was like a moment of like, oh my God, I remember this as a little kid, and my kids were just like, what is this? I was like, it's pizza. They're like,
Did they enjoy it though? Did they enjoy it?
Yeah, did they?
No, because they bit it. They bit it and the cheese all slid off. I was like, and this is again, growing up poor, you're like, no, you gotta hold it. You gotta hold the cheese. You gotta cut it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
See, look, I'm not the only one. Claudia, me too. English muffin pizza was a lifesaver.
What? I've never heard of English muffin pizza. Wow.
That's me neither. And we had to make it on our show, and I was like low-key embarrassed because I was like, I just want to let you know this is not representative of New Jersey. Like,
I grew up in New York, and it was a thing. Like we did it at home.
Like you because
where in New York?
That's
I grew up in New Rochelle.
That's like if I was put on penitencia, they'd be like, you need to eat an English muffin.
That sounds like a very niche thing. Like,
no, you know what? Now y'all making me feel bad about my childhood.
No, my bad. I'm sorry.
You know what? My favorite.
Dariany, what is a dish that you and your family bond over? Like every time that dish is coming out, you feel like it's a celebration or somebody got a raise. Like, what is the dish?
My initial inclination is fucking everything because literally my family is a family of foodies. Like we eat, es que nosotros comemos like we just left Cuba and this is the first real meal that we're gonna have. Like literally, we're probably all gonna die of heart disease. But anyway, the first, honestly, believe it or not, it's not Cuban at all. It's lobster and butter. Like, yes, that's been my favorite food since I was a little kid. Like literally. If it was like it was like my dad would just get fresh lobsters, kill them right in front of us. And with hella butter, there was no side dish. And that was like, life is good. I cannot believe you are looking up fast English muffin.
Y'all are not going to make me feel like I'm crazy here.
I don't feel like you're crazy at all. I just feel like, wow, that's like, very anecdotal. Like I didn't even know. This is real out here.
I just can't believe.
I'm embarrassed now. I didn't know about this English muffin pizza.
Girl, I'm not judging you because I certainly was like, wait, the English muffin? That's the pizza?
It's not for teas and crumpets.
All right.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before we go any further, Sasha, what was your struggle meal?
My struggle meal was just ramen noodles with scrambled eggs. Like just put the egg inside the noodle and just eat it.
Oh.
Yeah, or if not, like, and then it was like multiple dishes. Like not a mango, you know. Mangoes are just, plátanos are just $1, and you eat a really big meal with mango in the morning, and you're not gonna be hungry till dinner. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
That's a real struggle meal. That if it, keeps you filled for breakfast and lunch, like you good.
I mean, but most of our Eric, what are you? Are you Puerto Rican?
Puerto Rican, Guatemalan.
Okay, so same shit in the sense of most of our food is peasant food, is struggle food. You know what I mean? Like it literally, it's very few dishes, minus I guess oxtail, that's like expensive to make. But that's beautiful and that's great. We've taken these ingredients that are traditionally, financially, cheaper, and it's fucking great.
Yeah.
You guys ever had arroz con salchichas?
Yeah. Ready?
Love.
Now I'm gonna share another meal with y'all, and y'all can't judge because I told this to my wife one time, and she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Wait, you never had this?" Like, because in my head, this was one of my favorite meals that my mom would throw together. Because again, she used to work, and then she'd come home. She would have canned corned beef.
No, good night.
She would. No, hold on. Don't judge me yet. I'm sharing with y'all. Put in a pan. She would throw corn and potatoes in it, mix it up, and then over white rice. And I'm telling you, it was one of my favorite meals. And when I told my wife this, she's like, "That's not a real meal." I was like, "Yeah, it was. It was delicious."
Oh my God.
I'm such a piece of shit though, because I will literally be like, ill canned corned beef, but like I will fuck up Vienna sausages. Like,
yeah.
As if like, what is a Vienna sausage even? You know?
When I started learning how to cook on my own, right? I remember I was like starving. I wasn't really making any money. I made white rice with canned corn and tuna, and I will fuck that shit up. Like, it's the best thing I ever tasted. And then I remember I moved in with my roommate, and she's like my best friend, and I was like, "Yo, this shit is the best shit." She was like, "Bitch, that shit is nasty. You cooking jail food." I'm like, I am. I'm like,
I looked it up for y'all.
No. That potatoes looks like a goddamn pineapple. And I'm so mad they garnished it with parsley. Really?
They try to make it fancy. I'm
telling you, this is crazy. I never heard of it, but now it's looking like I'll taste it though. I'll taste it.
No, I'm really scared of
y'all judging my food, my childhood.
That's your childhood.
All right.
You should get him on struggle meal. He needs to be on the episode of Struggle Meal.
Yeah, but Dariany's gonna make my meals like this.
Well, the thing is I have to eat it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You do.
I don't.
My God. Question. All right. So now I have a question. Have you tasted like nasty struggle meal so far?
Let me think.
On the show.
Yeah. For the record, I'm not very picky. Actually, if you don't excuse me, my lunch actually just got here. Give me one.
I hope her lunch is the corned beef with corn over rice. That's what I hope it is.
This is Mendocino Farms.
I know Mendocino.
I'm just kidding. What's a nasty struggle meal that I was like, not with the shit? I don't even know. No, because mac and cheese is always delicious.
Yeah. So
like, it was probably that fucking pizza. It was probably that English muffin pizza. It just felt like
it didn't taste good at all.
What happened?
It didn't taste good at all.
The texture.
I gotta see it. Now I'm tuning
in. You know what it is? It's because I'll tell you now. Because as an adult, now that I had it, I'll tell you the texture of the English muffin on the bottom. You're like, what am I eating? But as a kid, it was bomb. As a kid, I will stand 100% behind it.
Yeah, but you know what? Also, as kids, we've only tried 10 things. So like our idea, our palate is so not developed. Yeah. So like it's funny. However, Kraft box mac and cheese still hits. We'll always hit. Period.
I think a lot of it too with the struggle meals is the memories you have. So like you'll remember the times how happy we were. Like I looked at that English muffin pizza and like now as an adult I'm like I would never make it. But to me, it was a time of like happiness. I was with my family. We would do this on like a Friday night. It was like a special thing. So it was exciting to do. And that's what like I tried to explain that to my kids, and my kids were like, "Dad, go get the dough. Let's make real pizza."
That's so fun. Yeah, I think the nostalgia and just like it still tastes like it did when you were a kid. Like certain things. Like I always go to Kraft mac and cheese, the character one, not the actual because that's very different. I felt like this since I was a kid. It's nostalgic, and it's just like you know what? Our struggle meals have become our comfort food, at least for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Like there's sometimes that I need.
That's so true.
Chicken nuggets and mac and cheese. Like I just that and like chocolate milk, like the trifecta of kid food, and I'm just like as happy.
So now I have to ask because I'm assuming single.
Thank you for the assumption.
I'm assuming.
Are you though? Are you single?
I'm totally. I'm the singlest of all.
Okay.
So here's the question. So when you're looking for someone, like, do you want somebody that knows his way around the kitchen?
They can't be picky, first of all. I have no time. I don't care. If you have too many allergies, that's unfortunate. Talk to God about that. But I can't. I love food so much that if you're going to sit there and tell me, oh, I don't like cilantro and I don't like this, and you have two, again, that's unfortunate. But like, it's just unattractive. Like, I cannot date someone that is the chicken tender French fry dude at the restaurant. I can't.
Oh my God.
No, I can't. Like, because I'm going to judge you. And also, I mean, like, again, remember, food is love. Like, I feel the sexiest in the kitchen cooking for somebody. I love that. And I love going to eat with somebody and being like, did you love that? Wasn't it good? Wasn't it good? Let me try food off your plate. Like, that's a thing for me.
Okay. So now what's your go-to, I'm going to cook for a guy, he's coming over and you want to impress him dish?
So it depends. So it's often Cuban food. Like arroz con pollo, or when Sasha came over, I made her pollo guisado, and that's always
so good.
It's always a good time. But it depends, because like it depends on where the dude is from. Because if the dude, so it depends. Because so like, let's say the dude is Latino, but he grew up with that food and he knows it. Like, I was probably not going to impress him. I'll probably go the bougier route with him and be like, look at this, Wagyu beef steak. Very expensive. So yeah, it depends, because I literally cook either like super traditional Cuban food or like bougie, like healthy fusion shit. So yeah, it depends on the person.
So no allergies, and you got a broad spectrum of stuff you can cook.
So that, how there's like that genetic thing that people don't like cilantro. Like, they have cilantro, they cilantro and they taste soap. You can't have that gene. You ain't getting it if you have that gene.
That's it. That's it. It's a no for you.
It is. Cilantro, and I cook with cilantro all the time.
That's a deal breaker.
That's a lot. Is that like your opening question? To like, hey, what's up, girl? Like, hold up, cilantro tastes like soap. What you got?
Yeah, like, do you have that gene? Because also, I'm not passing that to my kids.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not doing that.
Nah, absolutely.
I think about the future.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what was your favorite dish to cook
on the show on Struggle Gourmet? Well, I don't want to divulge too much because we're only on episode 3, but I have to say it anyway. Hello?
Oh, Joe, did we lose you?
Joe
Biden, did we lose you? I think we lost her.
Where am I? What's going on?
She's lost. We lost Joe. Joe's gone. He'll be back. But continue. What was favorite meal to cook on the show? Without giving away too much.
Fried rice. It was a fried. I'm not going to tell you what the fried rice dish was. It was crack, my dude. It was. I think it was like maybe like a $300, $400 fried rice. You back, Sasha?
Yeah, I'm back. And I missed it. What you saying?
I was just saying that my favorite is Claudia just put Defa deal burger. That's cilantro soap gene is a no. Yeah, no. And I'm happy that you understand, because some people think I'm like insensitive or shallow, and then I like agree.
Well, it's hard because in our culture, cilantro is big. Like cilantro is like in everything.
Bro, my mom, and it's funny because it's traditionally not found in Cuban food, but because my mother after my parents got married, they lived in DR for 2 years, almost 3 years actually. A lot of her cooking that she learned was in DR, so that's one of the reasons that she even cooks with cilantro. So when I smell cilantro, I smell my mom. Yeah. Anyway, moving on from cilantro.
So fried rice.
Yes, so we made fried rice on Struggle Gourmet. It was so good, and we made a homemade chili oil. It was so good that for the next 4 days, I was making fried rice just to eat the chili oil, because that shit was crack.
Chili oil is good. It is good.
I fucking love chili oil, and I have it in my fridge.
Where do you like to go shopping more? Is it Trader Joe's, Ralph's, Whole Foods? Like, where do you find the best ingredients?
I fucking hate Ralph's. I actually once formé un lío in a Ralph years ago.
Really?
Yeah, because I came to I was not living in LA, but I came to visit my girl Angelique, and when you're I get it. If I'm staying at your house, you're gonna make me cook. Like, that's just part of the plan. So I go to Ralph's and I'm like looking for plátanos. I'm looking for the Goya section at the time. So I go to the person and I'm like, hi, we're here, your Goya section. And homie's looking at me crazy. And I'm like, Goya? And he's like, oh, it should be in the international section. And I go to the international section and I see 46 different types of pickles, like a bunch of shit. And I see no Goya products. And I'm like freaking out at the manager. He's like, are you going to be okay? And I'm like, I don't know, actually. I'm going to be okay because I'm just confused at what your idea of an international section was. Anyway, whatever. The next week, my girl calls me. She's like, I don't know what you did, but Ralph's now sells plátanos. And I was like,
Really?
I thought it was me, but great change. But yeah, not Ralph. I still fucking hate Ralph's.
Okay.
You know what? I enjoy a trip. So I do half Trader Joe's, half Vallarta. Do you guys know? You guys know Vallarta? For those who aren't.
Okay, first of all, offended that you even say we don't know Vallarta. Well, of course we know.
You think everyone does?
I don't know what
Vallarta
is.
Oh, wait, you know what? I'm gonna give Sasha a pass because Sasha don't have a car, so Sasha doesn't.
I don't know what Vallarta is. Yo estoy Vallarta.
Vallarta is a chain of Latin supermarkets in LA.
Okay.
It's really fucking great. I'll tell you, I love it. They make these agua fresca, not agua frescas. It's like ceviche, but Mexicans do it. Chili. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I know ceviche. I don't know. I didn't know Mexicans did their own little twist on it.
Yeah, aguachile. Sorry, they use the word agua and chili so much. Aguachile, fucking delicious. They make their own there. They make their own tortillas, and they have like the whole, like, the Latin supermarkets have like the whole carnicero, the whole like butcher shop. I really enjoy that because I just love butchers and butcher shops. So yeah, so I do that, and then I go to Trader Joe's because it's like literally the balance of my life.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, Sasha, you got to go to Vallarta. Vallarta, first of all, it has everything you need and the comforts of your home and stuff. But it's also funny because as you're walking around, like the price is so much lower. You're like,
oh yeah,
really?
I think y'all messed up.
Pero yo no sabía de eso. Nadie me dijo nada. Nobody told me nothing.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Like you almost feel like you should pay more. Like,
wow.
You sure that's $1? That's $1? $1. Okay.
$1.
And there's definitely
20 cents.
There's definitely one close to you because we live near each other, and there's a couple in this neighborhood.
So it's a wrap. That's where I'm gonna go shopping.
Oh my God, they have. Sorry, oh, I'm hungry.
Tell me.
This really giant bag of they have plátano chips and they have yuca chips, and I just fucking love yuca chips, and like they're just really good, and they're there. It's like a really big bag.
People sleep on yuca. Yuca, I've had yuca fries. I've had yuca mash. Like yuca is no joke.
Listen,
and
yuca is superior to potato, and I know that's a very controversial thing to say.
Is a what?
It's controversial to say, but I prefer yuca to potato. If I had to, end of the world, I could only have either potato or yuca. I would choose yuca.
Really? I cannot stand yuca that much.
Joe, listen, Joe, we voted for you, Joe. Don't do this right now, Joe.
Yo no estoy pa' yuca. No, I mean, it has to be cooked a certain way. I don't know why. I have no idea why yuca's not my favorite thing, but like, I'll eat it if my aunt makes it or if like my great aunt makes it. Like I like how they do it and they season it con caldo and all that shit. So I love it. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that the way that certain people cook it, if it's too dry, I'm just like over it.
Well, and that's the thing is it's a little more finicky. A potato, you're never gonna fuck up. It's a potato, potato, spring potato. Pero if a yucata, if it's like a hard one,
yeah,
it's good. But if it's creamy and made with mojo or fried.
Dang, girl, you getting everybody hungry.
I know, right? I'm like, let me go to Vallarta. Well, I'm actually gonna go to New York in like a couple days, so I'm excited to eat some food, man. Eat some Mexican food, bro.
I know y'all are supposed to be interviewing me, but Sasha, what have you been eating? I'm so annoying, but I like care about what people eat. I want to make sure.
Well, I've been eating a lot of salmon. I've been making myself a lot of like white rice, beans. Been cooking beans. Whenever I find a plátano,
bitch, you gotta go to Vallarta.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plátanos.
And then I've been eating a lot of sushi and a lot of takeout food. But yeah, that looks so good.
That was
good.
a $350 ramen that I made with Truby Red. It was excellent.
$350. What made that ramen $350, and what is the difference in taste?
It was excellent. So we made the part of the broth had like this really expensive sake in it, but it was really the Wagyu beef on top. You know, if you ever have you ever had Wagyu beef, you know, it's literally the most expensive beef you can get, and it was delicious. And then also we like just topped it with so much gold flake. But it was fucking bomb.
That looks so good though.
Oh, it's not.
So what has been the most expensive meal? Not that you've made, but that you've had
In life?
in life.
Oh, probably Dubai. I was in Dubai, and like if you sneeze there, it's $200. You know what I mean? Like they're just ridiculous. Probably I think like being in Dubai and having sushi, because like you're in the desert, so like where is it even coming from? It's got to be now that like I'm thinking about it like out loud, like it's expensive as Dubai, and also I'm in the fucking desert.
Right.
The audacity.
I have a question. So where have you traveled and tasted the food and you said yes, like the food here is amazing?
A lot of places for sure. I mean, obviously Italy, Portugal, Spain is like bomb. Colombia, Cartagena, super good arepas. But the best food by far, and the food, like when you travel, sometimes like by day 3, I'm like, I don't want another fucking pasta, even if you're in Italy.
Yeah.
Greece's food was so fresh and so delicious that not only was I happy as fuck to have it every day, but when I left Greece, I was like, I want more Greek food.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. I had a goat cheese cheesecake there.
A goat cheese cheesecake?
Yes. And so when I went to Greece on the last day, I was alone because my friends had left early / I booked the flight the wrong day. This has happened a few times to me. But I met like these Greek viejitos that were locals on the beach. And the last day they invited me to eat at their house, like traditional Greek food. And that was like the best. Cause like,
wait. Yeah,
I look at me and Sasha right away. We're like, hold up.
Yeah, they did. They were like, I don't know, maybe like 45, 50. And they're like, do you want to come eat? And I was like, absolutely.
That's funny. So the only way to trap you is like, I got some food over here. You were like, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
When I was younger,
you not watch horror movies?
I
You
know
want to go get some food?
Yeah. I am the kid with the candy. That's me. But when I was younger, I definitely partook in a lot of stranger danger stuff.
Wow. Okay, you're brave because you're alive. So that means you're brave.
Yeah.
You gotta.
No, I was in Puerto Rico once when I was 17, and literally walking through San Juan, and a van pulls up. Already not starting good. And the van opens, and it's me, my sister, my 2 best friends at the time, and the guy's like, "Oh, come in." And we did. They ended up being Greek guys from Jersey, though. They literally ended up being Greek guys from Jersey, the coolest dudes ever. Like,
yeah. I mean, that sounds like, I think that as long as you follow your gut and you're like, I could probably gouge this person's eye. I could probably do something. All right, I'll get in the car.
I consider myself to be relatively intimidating. Dudes, believe it or not, don't really fuck with me. Yeah. So, but also, they just ended up being Greek guys from Jersey. One of the dudes' uncle owned the diner in my town. I was like,
that's amazing. So you ate there for free for like a year then.
It was so cool, man.
I know. I don't know. It sounds like straight out of a movie. Jump in, and you're like, okay,
you know what? This just literally reminds me of like when me and my cousin we kidnapped this. I think he was like.
Hold on,
like
hold on, statute of limitations, Sasha. How long ago was it? We kidnapped. Hold on.
He was like what? Like maybe he wasn't a teen, but he was like in his early 20s. Maybe he was like 20 years old. And we're like, oh my god! And he was like walking to the train station, and we're like, oh my god! And we're talking to him and stuff like that. And then he's like, what the heck? We grabbed his arm, and then we took him to eat like Dominican food, right? And we're like, oh my god! Just like it's like, how does it taste? How does it taste? And he's like, this is nasty. He said it was nasty, but of course he's a white guy from like Germany. What do they?
Did he have the cilantro gene?
It was good. The food was good. It's just that he was this white guy that didn't understand, like. But the experience, experience is great. You people are amazing. I was like, wow, you didn't like our food. Get the fuck out of here.
That's listen, I do love spontaneity. I do.
Yeah. I love how Sasha started off loving it, and then I was like, get out of here. You don't like my food. Get
out of here. You don't like my food.
I would have been the same. I would have been like, well, this adventure ends right here.
Right. Like when people say they don't like plátanos, I'm just like, I'm trying to understand you.
Yeah.
Like how, but
listen, I might be Cuban and I love my food, but I love Dominican food. Like love. I love Dominican food so much.
I love Caribbean. Yeah. Dominican food is really good. But
what's
Dominican food period, huh?
What's a must have for you in your kitchen at all times? Like anytime you go in the cupboard, you have to have this kind of spice, or anytime you go into the fridge, this has to always be there for you.
Yes.
I mean, onions and garlic.
Okay.
What are you doing without onions and garlic? I don't.
Yeah.
Like that's always. Ahora mismito. Actually, right now I have shallots, which are
shallots are good. Shallots are fancy. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. What is a dish that you would cook every day?
Oh my God, that sounds horrible to have to cook the same thing every day.
But like,
I know. I take questions like this very literal. It's bad. Like I'm like, okay. What's so crazy? The first thing just came to my head is fried rice. I really motherfucking love fried rice. I really do. I think it's brilliant, and you can remix it so many different ways. There's so many different countries make fried rice. Even Cubans, we have our own kind of fried rice. I know Dominicans will throw some longaniza in there and make a fried. Actually, quick thing. I saw a video the other day of a tres golpe fried rice.
Yeah. That's a thing.
I know you talked about the chili oil. What else is a must have to make good fried rice?
Well, first of all, old rice. That's a given. So you never make a fresh pot of rice and then make fried rice. It's the rice from yesterday. Yeah. Because if not, it's grainier. If it's too mushy, it doesn't get that consistency. It's actually kind of where the invent of fried rice came from, is because it's, the Chinese culture. They don't like to waste food. They don't like to be wasteful, similar to us Latinos. So that's kind of how it happened. Also sesame oil. I love, I guess you could do olive oil, but when you have something like sesame oil, especially toasted sesame oil, it really gives that authentic Asian flavor. And I love that shit.
Okay.
And I don't even mind having it be vegetarian. Like I don't need to put ham in it. I don't need to put chicken or shrimp. Like as long as there's egg and vegetables. Good money.
Gotcha. Somebody's asking, have you ever tried food from Balkan? I don't know what that means. I don't know where that is.
I have not.
I went to public school. Where's Balkan?
Yeah.
Let's. You know what? I don't think I have. I feel like I would remember.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna have to Google Balkan.
I know. I feel like it's gonna end up being like a town in Jersey. We're like, oh, I've been there.
Oh no. Okay, so it turns out Balkan is in the Balkan Peninsula. That's not helping. It looks like it's near Greece. This guy hates us.
We really are.
The Balkans are categorized. It's Albania, Bosnia, Bulgaria, Croatia. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, cool. Romania, Serbia, Slovenia. That was a joke. But no, I have not. But I'm sure I'd fuck with it.
There you go.
I would love to taste it. I would love to.
I love that you kept throwing out those names, and in my head, I'm like, I still don't know what that food is. Slovenia. I was like, okay. Bosnia. I don't know what they eat, but all right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, actually, the only thing that's close is Georgia, not the state, the country. I've had the national dish of Georgia. It's really good, sir. You guys probably.
She's flexing on us. I don't know what the national food of Georgia is. I was like, okay,
it's reminiscent of a pizza. Actually, it's like a dough, and then they put feta and mozzarella, and they melt it, and then as it's in the oven, they put an egg on top. You get like a runny egg. That should crack. And I remember I was eating it with my boy from New York, and I was like, "This is the national dish of Georgia," and he was just so confused because he's like, "Usually I have like fried chicken, like when I go to Georgia." Like I'm like, "The country,
Georgia,
not the state, you buffoon."
Yeah. There's some people watching like, she's stupid. That's a state.
Like, yeah, right. It's like,
the country, yeah.
Well, actually, now that we say that, I saw a tweet yesterday, and it was like, a Republican like conspiracy theorist person. They were like, "How is it possible that Georgia has 3.7 million votes when their population is only 3 million?" And they posted the population of Georgia, the country.
No way. And this was I love US.
Love the world.
I love the internet because it's such a wealth of like just dumb stuff you read. And then no offense, because we live in the US, but sometimes Americans, we're dumb.
Oh, we're well, that's not a secret. What? Like,
honestly, yeah.
My favorite tweet that I saw this past week after the election. I hate to bring back the election, but this dude was like, "You know what? I don't like this guy. I'm grabbing my family. I'm leaving the country. We're going to Alaska." I was like, "Yeah, yo, man,
Alaska,
man. I don't know how to break this to you.
Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him?
You're still in this country."
Yo, that is so funny, man. It's funny because like there's this comedian called Jim Jeffries, right? And he was talking about like, I think in Asia they're like #1 in education but very low on confidence, and then Americans are very low on education but very high on confidence. And I'm like, that's so true. Like we won very big. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say that I haven't really been traveling around the world as much. Like the food that I've tasted outside of America, it's obviously like Spanish. I went to Spain, tasted Spanish food, but like Bali, the noodles that they eat that for breakfast, and I'm like, what? You have noodles for breakfast? So I kind of been doing that lately.
Yeah, I think it's so funny how we have the relationship Americans have with breakfast in general is just crazy. Because they'll judge somebody for eating a fish noodle soup, but you're having donuts.
Right.
Girl, I'll have cold pizza for breakfast. I give no kid to any of that.
Who said?
So I Struggle Gourmet every Tuesday on
11:30 on Fuse. There it is.
There it is. Make sure you go check that out. Real quick. So after Struggle Gourmet, and we hope it has a very successful run, many seasons. It
will.
What is the vision for you? Like, what is your end game here? Like, you got Struggle Gourmet. Would you like to at one point open up a restaurant? Would you at one point like to have your own? You already have your own cooking show, but maybe like your own cooking line. Books.
I could see that for sure. I mean, I want to definitely drop my own sofrito, especially because real, Goya products are just not the best. And that's not even, that's just the truth. I want to create one that's non-GMO, that's organic, that's like, we often have Latinos that are targeted as like, it's only sold in like the Spanish supermarket in the little bodega. And it's like, that doesn't make any type of sense. I want to, it's the millennials like ourselves that are health conscious and all of these things. I want to be able to do that. But like my end goal, I don't know. I never really make such like solidified goals because life
it's good to have those targets. Like, do you want to be the Latina Rachel Ray or Martha Stewart? Like one day I'm gonna be like, you see her right there. I knew her back when she had Struggle Gourmet. Look at her. She got her own cooking line.
Right. I don't think who I'm going to be has ever existed before. So it's hard. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even coming from like a cocky place. It's just like, I couldn't have existed 10, 15 years ago. And I also don't want to solely be food. Like, remember, I do comedy too. So it's an interesting place. I mean, I definitely can see myself having like, what's it called? Like a late night show, because I love that. But I really don't know. I promise my life is so many things just end up falling into my lap and being like, you know what, I should do this. So I like to be open to the possibility of things that I haven't even thought of, because sometimes like, I don't know what's best for me. I don't. The universe might, someone else might, I might learn about something and be like, that's what I should do. So yeah, I tend to just, my goal is always to progress and do better and just constantly be happy and fulfilled with what I'm doing.
Yeah, you could just be walking along the street one day, van pulls up, opens up, you should be the president. Okay,
Yeah,
takes off.
All right, fuck it.
Exactly.
I feel like that's how it is going to happen for Dariany. Just hearing these stories of you going, I got in the van. I was like, wait, what? Hold up. Went to this guy's house. He cooked for me.
It happens, man.
Oh, I love it, man. I wish you nothing but the best. I've been following you on social, and I just love everything you're doing. You got great energy about you. I'm so happy we got to have you on the show. Tell everybody where they can find you so they can partake in all your glow.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me. I very, very much appreciate it. I fucks with both of y'all. But see my name right there. Yes. Follow me on Instagram at Dariany Santana. And then Twitter is It's Dariany. Because like I can't get like one thing, just so weird because you'd think like there's so many Darianys and there aren't. But anyway, yes, please follow me. I have like a YouTube channel too. I'm always up to some shit.
There you go. And then make sure you watch her show, Fuse the Struggle Gourmet, every Tuesday, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
This episode coming up is with Freddie Gibbs, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be very good.
Joe Biden, where can you find you?
Well, you can catch me in the White House. I will be kicking this orange man out soon. Now is Sasha Merci. You can catch me on Twitter, Instagram, Triller, and yeah, you could catch us. You can catch me and Z on Fuse TV, on Like, Share, Dímelo, and you can watch our episodes online. Our first 3 episodes online on YouTube.
Yeah, Like, Share, Dímelo on Fuse on Mondays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Monday you watch Like, Share, Dímelo. Tuesday you watch a little Struggle Gourmet.
You already know.
And then, look at that. And then don't forget, because I know Sasha just forgets all the time to promote her stuff.
Wait, the HBO movie.
I can't with her. Dariany, this is what I have to deal with. Dariany, I have to remind her of the things she's doing. Not only that, but this is what bugs me about her is she acts like she doesn't know what's happening, and I read it in the trade like we're not friends, like we don't text, like we don't talk to each other on the phone. I go, wait, you got a movie coming out? Oh yeah. I did a little movie a year ago.
First of all, I was just as surprised as you, but yes, De Lo Mio is going to be airing this month on HBO Max. Like that is insane. It's great. It's surreal. It's very good artsy film. It's very nostalgic.
When does it air? What day?
It should be Thursday. It should be on Thursday.
Damn it, Sasha.
And then you can just watch
she acts like she acts like she's not in the movie.
I know, I saw guys, but anyway, the movie's gonna be on HBO Max. You guys can watch it. It's called De Lo Mio, and it's a really good nostalgic film, especially if you're Caribbean and you miss your family, you miss your friends. Like it's a good film to watch. Diana did a great job in directing it.
Yeah, we have to get her on so we can talk more about the movie.
Yeah, we have to.
Sasha keep forgetting. But go subscribe to HBO Max. Go catch De Lo Mio. And while you're at it, you might as well watch my half-hour special. It's still up there. Super White streaming now on HBO Max. You can follow me at Erik Rivera Comedy on all things, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. And thank you, Dariany, for spending this time with us.
Thank you. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much, Dariany.
Thank you, guys.
Go enjoy your lunch.